Hello and welcome back to the Wilkes-Barre Connect Podcast, brought to you by Park Multimedia. The Wilkes-Barre Connect Podcast is a series that brings in local entrepreneurs, council leaders, young professionals, and students that are leaving their mark on Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Dan Kimbrough. On this episode of Wilkes-Barre Connect, we hear from Dave Pedri and Maggie Martinelli from the Luzerne Foundation and Scranton Area Foundation about the work that they do for supporting nonprofits.
So much for being here. I know this is not the highlight topic of the day, but I think this is a really, really important topic. So my name is Maryanne Velez. I am the founder, president, and CEO of a local small nonprofit, UNA, acronym for United NEPA Alliance. We formed at the height of the pandemic. To date, in the last 3 years, we have served 21,000 families in Luzerne County alone. We started to pull data regarding housing insecurities and affordability toward the end of 2020 when our organization began to receive numerous phone calls from residents within Lackawanna County and Luzerne County begging for legal assistance. There was a trend where out-of-state landlords were evicting these tenants at such a high rate, there was not enough affordable housing to put them into. So the tenants that were looking at eviction were paying anywhere between $500 to $700 a month in rent. When they were evicted from their apartments that they lived in for 10, 15 years, they were now looking at rents between $800 and $1,000. That was at the end of 2020. We are now in 2023. Housing affordability is non-existent. We do not have working families here in Luzerne County that can afford an average rent of $1,200 a month, not including utilities. Show of hands, how many college students do we have here today? When you look at your career goals and housing affordability in Luzerne County, what is the main reason you see yourself leaving Luzerne County? Is it because you know your career will not take you on the road where you will be able to securely afford a place to live? There is not enough demand for your particular career here in Luzerne County and you need to look elsewhere? What are some of the obstacles that you seem to be facing coming out of college? Anyone?
There's definitely some other opportunities elsewhere besides in Luzerne County. So it's
and what type of opportunities?
Just business opportunities, etc. Like that.
That is the correlation we see straight across the board, straight through Pennsylvania. All of the data that we have pulled, there are not enough opportunities within northeastern Pennsylvania that are allowing our college students to remain here, utilizing their degrees to better their lives and move forward on their career path. So what are we left here? Struggling, hardworking families in Luzerne County. Most of the families living here are working in industrial warehouses. They're working in retail. We do not see much of our skilled labor forces, which is something that we're looking to rebuild on. So when we're looking at struggling families, when we're looking at single moms, single dads, we know before they come to us looking for assistance, they do not have the means to better their lives. They cannot afford $1,200 a month rent and be able to put food on the table and clothes on their children's back and get to work every day. People don't take into consideration the gas that they utilize, the tolls that they have to pay, the lunches that they buy, so forth and so on. So what we did, because we understand that there's so much more to housing than just putting a roof over somebody's head, we started a wraparound life coaching program. We did this before we were able to put anybody in an affordable home. We cannot put you into an affordable home making $15 an hour and expect you to successfully remain in that home. So we've opened up resources that are readily available within the community to help any individual and or family looking to better their lives and the lives of their families. There are several local organizations that can help you elevate out of your current circumstances that will help college students coming out of colleges move to a path where they can remain here in Luzerne County and utilize their degrees. Our wraparound program encompasses money management, mental and social health services, job training, and adult education. When we began to offer these services to the community, we have a wait list of 500 individuals that want to get into this program. We are currently working with 25 single moms, dads, and families that have successfully maneuvered through this program, one step at a time. We've had some families fall out due to circumstances that were beyond their control, and they know we are here to help them back up when they are ready. Why did we do this? Because in order for you to successfully be able to gain suitable housing, to be able to move forward in your life's journey, you need to have all of the skills and mechanisms and tools at your disposal so you could become successful and, more importantly, remain successful. Now, why am I speaking about this when this is a forum about housing? Because you cannot have one without the other. If there is anything I've learned in my lifetime, if you are not taking the right steps forward, you are taking 10 steps back. We do not see a decline in rental units moving into 2024. The data is showing a typical rental unit for 2 bedrooms in Luzerne County, northeastern Pennsylvania, will be roughly $2,000 a month. I don't know anybody who can afford $2,000 a month living in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm fortunate. My husband and I own our own home. We bought pre-pandemic. It was extremely affordable. That is not the case today. Interest rates are very high. Income requirements are stringent. And the housing market has been inflated to a degree where it is no longer attainable for the average person. We were just speaking about statistics, how we either need to see, and I'll let you state this.
Yeah. So, Maryanne, great work that you're doing. And as we just chatted, we definitely have to connect after the election.
Yes.
So that's going to be one. But if many of you were in the morning keynote, the statistic he said, to get back to pre-pandemic, there either needs to be a 51% wage boost or a 71% decrease in rent. And those are just astronomical to think of as a nation to go back to pre-pandemic status.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Another strategy that we have begun to research is shared housing concept for students coming out of colleges. So these would be 3 to 4 or 5 bedroom homes where college students coming out looking to build their career and remain here in Luzerne County can do so with an affordable rental that will give them the ability to move forward in life. So one of the concepts that we have built here with our program is a shared match program. So the rent that you would be paying us, we would take a percentage of that and throw that into an escrow account. And then you would be required to take a small percentage of your income net gross, because we are not the federal government. We're looking to sincerely help you elevate a small percentage of your income and throw that into an escrow account. 2 years, what do you think you have grown? A little nest egg to put down on a house that you can call your own right here in Luzerne County. You are now homeowners. You are now contributing back to your communities. We are watching the economy thrive, and you are moving forward on your life journey successfully. When a family comes to us, that is one of the pieces that we implement almost immediately is money management. Let's take a look at your finances. Let's put you on the right path so you could be successful in every endeavor you embark upon. And without those tools, we see families struggling to rob Peter to pay Paul because Mary still needs to keep her lights on. And we want to stop that cycle. We want to be able to give you the opportunity to make sure you have everything in a row to keep your lights on, to put food on the table, clothes on the back, drive a nice car, own a nice home, and stay right here in Luzerne County. How many business owners do we have here?
You're an entrepreneur.
Your employees, do they face housing insecurities or food insecurities? And why do you think that might be one of the reasons?
Well, I'm a sole proprietor, but we're actually facing the affordable housing crisis in Luzerne County. So we're working with the Housing Authority, and that's why I'm coming up here and learning more about it and want to talk more about it too. But I work with someone, the Institute, if you're familiar with them. So they have so much data, I'm sure that they share with you and that you have as well, similar data that shows the crisis that just increases over time, ever since the pandemic, of more people coming to this area, working in the warehouses that can't afford the pricing, even the rental prices that are current.
That is correct. And I believe there was just a county council meeting last night where they were speaking about another industrial group coming in. That is a huge problem. So we're opening up all of these warehouses that employ anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 people. Great pay to start, $18, $21 an hour. But if you look at the working conditions in these warehouses, most of the employees that we have gathered data from are only working part-time hours. They're not offered full-time hours. So at $18 to $21 an hour, which is great salary for someone living in this area, if you're only working 20 to 25 hours a week, you can't afford $1,200 a month rent.
And I think, Maryanne, that speaks to, and what I like about your wraparound program is housing is it should be a human right, right?
Yes.
So it goes beyond just housing and living somewhere and having a bed to sleep in. Health equity is a huge thing that, the Institute is one of our greatest friends, and they have done studies of how your health and your life expectancy is related to your housing security, and we call it housing stability now and not affordable housing or attainable housing because it has a negative connotation, but attainable housing should be the goal for everybody, So I appreciate that you're doing the whole wraparound service because it's not just about putting a roof over someone's head per se, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So I have to find out what are some of the ways both of you have looked at how the community, like what organizations or what entities are coming together to address affordable housing. I don't know which one of you wants to go first, but I mean, obviously this is a bigger problem than just how do we help these folks about ready to graduate, how do we help the women who are, mature women in our community who've been through things, how do we help anybody in our community? Like what entities are coming together to help address this?
I can't speak for the Scranton Foundation, but my organization has partnered with several community organizations, EOC, CareerLink, Fortis Institute, Johnson College, as well as the union labor as a whole. So what we are looking to do, and no offense to my college students here, I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I absolutely support college as a pathway to a better future, but we are looking to rebuild our skilled trades here. I remember growing up and our middle class neighborhoods with the big beautiful houses and the swimming pools, they were our plumbers, our electricians, our carpenters, our contractors, and they made significant money and built a beautiful life for themselves and their families. The unions offer an apprenticeship program. You go directly into their apprenticeship program and you develop a skill for a trade. What's great about the apprenticeship program is you get paid while you are in that apprenticeship program. So whether you want to be an electrician or a plumber or a carpenter, a welder, and the list goes on and on and on. This is a great career path without having to end that study in debt. I'm still paying off my student loans, and I finished college a very long time ago. But this is what we're trying to move away from, because we do know that is a hindrance for a lot of college students. You're coming out of college and you're looking at your student loan repayment, and now try to factor that in with rent, the cost of maintaining a car and putting fuel in it, food, things along that line. The numbers just don't add up. So if we can give you an opportunity to start on your life journey debt-free, then let's do that. Let's start putting an array of opportunities out for children, for our students coming out of high school. Let's start opening up the conversation that college is not meant for everybody. Just because you don't go to college doesn't mean you have to end up working in a dead-end warehouse. And that is what we want to see changed here in Luzerne County. I would love to see the new warehouse that are being built here in Luzerne County, the corporations coming in, that they're mandated through the county, safeguards in place for their employees, those KOZ deals that they want 10 years tax-free. Let's negotiate those deals. Let's ensure that our families here working in those warehouses are given every opportunity to be successful and to elevate them and their families on that career path that they would like to take. Let's bring in some union labor into those warehouses and get those skills trade programs back up and running. Yes.
The roundtable that's coming later today is Junior Achievement, run by Susan McNaughton in Luzerne County, or Northeastern PA. Have you worked with them at all? I know that they focus heavily on going into middle schools and high schools, reintroducing the trade, and bringing the trade to the schools, and bringing also the students to the trades, and having them learn that. Have you ever talked to Junior Achievement?
I have not as of yet. I am well aware that they are working on that program, and so thankful that they are. But that is a conversation I would love to have with them, and learn how we could work together to better promote those programs. Through the Labor Council, we are also going into the schools as well as outside of those warehouses and saying, there's a better opportunity for you. You may take a pay cut momentarily, but look at the career path that you're going to be on. And it is sustainable, and it is lifelong. And when you are with a union, you are with a union for life, and you know that your rights are safeguarded. So that is a conversation I would love to have with them to how we can better strengthen that program and ensure as many local high school students are afforded those opportunities. Absolutely.
And that does it for this episode of the Wilkes-Barre Connect podcast, brought to you by Park Multimedia. Wilkes-Barre Connect is powered by the Greater Wyoming Valley Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about Wilkes-Barre Connect, check out wyomingvalleychamber.org. That's wyomingvalleychamber.org.